Yep, I can see it now.
Okay,
Let's
great.
proceed. Sorry.
It's okay. So let me switch to
Wait, what
this
about
side.
the recording? Is it?
Yeah, I'm recording again. Don't worry. I missed out
So
on like a couple of minutes, but what to do?
this is the Sitecore site. I have my plugin installed. I'm not gonna cover the installation process. The installation is pretty straightforward. We have the installation guide you can go through. So after you, this is the login admin panel. So to log in, you have to go to this is the site name, and you have to type /sitecore. So this is the public site, and after public site, if you put /sitecore, then you will get the admin panel. So I already logged in, so it is showing me as administrator. Otherwise, you will get a login panel. We have a test site, and I don't know you have the Git access or not. If you have Git access, we have a third-party accounts list in the Git, and in this list, I have listed all our Sitecore instances, AM instances. If you want to play with those instances, you can try. You have admin username password here. You just have to add this line in your etc host, then you will be able to access this site. So considering you have successfully installed the plugin, so after you install the plugin from the admin panel, you have to come to the content editor. Let me go to the admin panel again. So here you have lots of things to do. You just need to route to the content editor part. In content editor, you will have NCP, new script plugin tab. So this NCP tab is the tab plugin creates for us. And in this tab, you have all the configurations you need. So in the content tab, we have another NCP item in the tree. And in this NCP node, you will have the configurations. I already configured something here. So let me show you what I configured so far. I will show you a fresh new configuration afterwards. So in the configuration, basically you just need to do mappings. You exposed everything using a schema from CMP, and you just need to do the mappings. So if you remember, I have selected Sitecore destination from CMP, and that destination I mapped here. So if you check here that we have category 1, 2, and 3. This is the Sitecore destination mapper we exposed from the feed. And we just map with category 3 to cat3 folder in Sitecore. You could have multiple folders here. So I have cat1, cat2, cat3. These are the just demo folder. It could be like for the client side, it could be like different sections of your website. Like this could be a blog, this could be an article, this could be infographic section. So you could have different section or different categories. So you just need to map to CMP labels to a destination folder of the Sitecore. So whenever I have Sitecore destination to cat3, my content will go to this folder. So we have similar configuration. We can have multiple destination mapping here. So for example, I could map like cat1 to category 1 to cat1, category 2 to cat2, or we can map anything you want. And if we don't have any category mapping, or if we have something that doesn't match with anything, then it will end up in default folder. And what will be the default folder can be configured from the root configuration. So let me show you the configuration tree here. So this is, in the beginning, you don't have anything under configuration tree. Whenever you create a configuration, you will have a root configuration. This is, you can rename it, but by default it's called article config. And in root configuration, you have some root, you have different configuration below it, and you have a common configuration at the top. So what we have in the top, you have to start from this point. The algorithm are not, these are not editable. So you have to give the feed URL first. This is the URL you are getting from the CMP website settings page. And you have to give some article template. These templates are in the Sitecore side. Usually Sitecore has some template developers. So Sitecore template developer are special kind of developer. They do this template development. So I have a sample template developed for this sample side. But for the client's Sitecore end, you could have lots of templates here. So a template is nothing but a HTML page that has some point to push our content. So this sample template has a placeholder named CMP main and NCP main. This placeholder is placed in the template, and everything we are getting from CMP, we put it in that portion of the template. So this is a bit technical. This is more of work of the template developer. So you will know which template to use and which part of the template we have to put the content. So this is the top configuration. Do you have, I know you have a lot of question at this point. You can ask now before I go to the mappings below the top configuration. So for a template, you will have two kind of thing. You have to select a rendering set. It is kind of CSS if you consider HTML in your mind. So you have HTML content like HTML markup, and you have HTML CSS, HTML design that need to rendering. So the rendering part you have to select from here, and the template part you have to select from this drop down. This is more of a template developer's task. Before configuring any Sitecore site, you know which template to use and which rendering component to use. So you do not need to worry about. So I'm going to the detailed mapping. So you can see you have destination mapping, you have field mapping, you have tag mapping, and you have workflow mapping. The destination, as I mentioned, it is the destination folder in your Sitecore site. The fields are the fields in the template you need to fill from the using the CMP data, and the workflow is the which workflow you want to trigger from CMP. So let me show you few things. I have these many fields in my template, You could have a lot more than this, but for the demo purpose, I have author, content, created on, image, and title. And these are the Sitecore field. So you have to configure, you have to map which Sitecore field to map with which CMP field. So this is the Sitecore field, and this is the CMP fields you exposed through the schema I have shown you. So have a look on the list. I will go back to the schema again, so it will make more sense to you. So you have article GUID, author description, you have, uh, uh, as you can notice, you don't have Sitecore destination because those are different type of data. So, and if you go to the destination, you don't see author and those, you just see destination mapper. So how does plugin know which data to show where? And if you go to the workflow, you will see just data related to workflow. Yeah, these are the workflow mappers I have. So all these things are controlled using the schema. So let me go to the schema again. Before going to schema, do you have any question?
So whatever information we put here, that will reflect in the schema, right?
Right. Whatever, no, the opposite. Whatever you put in the schema will reflect here.
Oh, okay.
So let me go to the schema once more. So in the schema, you have number of information. So it's an array of objects, and each object is a data for the Sitecore, and each data has a type. It is a string type of data. It is a date, and you have some special type. For example, for destination, you have destination type. For workflow, you have workflow type. For tags, you will have tag type. And other than this special type, everything is a data type of content. So a data type of content will be, or you can say fields will be shown here, and the destination, tag, and workflow type of data will be shown respectively, the destination, workflow, and tag. So it's not that difficult to understand a schema. So in the schema, you have the type of data, you have a selector. It is a path of the JSON tree. Let me show you a JSON side by side so you can easily understand the schema. So most likely you don't have to configure a schema. We will configure when we onboarding a client, and most likely it doesn't need to change. So I'm just showing you what is the schema means, but you don't need to worry about it. You don't need to memorize it. So a selector is a JSON path. Every schema is a JSON content, and in each JSON, you have list of JSON item here. So in each item, you have article content, and in article content, you have like custom fields, you have custom labels, you have article description, GUID, link, and all other article information here. So in the schema, what you see is I have a path, like I want to select a custom content format. So the content format is in current article content format, and I'm selecting the label of that content format. And these labels can taken one of these value. So you have options, you have a selector, you have a title. This title is showing in the plugins, CMP field section. So let me search something like meta description. You should have a meta description item in your schema. Let me search for meta description. This is the meta description, and this meta description is mapped to this content, and it is a string type, so it will, you will find it in field section. Does it make any sense so far what I have talked? Any confusion? So if you understand the schema, you know what you exposed from CMP, then you just need to map those CMP fields with Sitecore field. So these are just one-to-one mapping. So let me show you, I map a tag here. So I exposed, I just exposed content format. I don't have any more tags exposed from CMP, but you can expose a lot of tags. So I just expose content format, and if the content format is article, then it will be tagged to a particular tag. You can, I just have 2 tags here in Sitecore. So you can select whatever tag you want. So content will be tagged accordingly. Same goes for workflow. So if you remember, in the schema, I have a workflow mapper, workflow content exposed. So this is the item for the workflow, right? And it has this much options. It can be draft, it can be published, it can be review and approve. So if you come back to the Sitecore side, you will see I just have one workflow mapper from the schema, and it can have one of these values. So if I send a draft from the CMP side, it will trigger draft workflow from the Sitecore. As you see in this demo Sitecore site, we have lots of workflows. So lots of configuring thing. Let me show you how it looks like when I have the article published at Sitecore site. So you can wait until the next ingestion cycle, or you can hit this sync button to manually sync the feed. So it is now reading the feed. The plugin, it will, I hit it automatically, but there is a cron job that will trigger periodically, as I mentioned earlier. So now it will go to the, yeah, it has reapplied all 30 articles. I have 31 articles there, and it reads all the articles. And if before I see anything here, if I go to the task, I should have the public URL here. Let me go to another tab and come back to this tab again. This will again. See, it's a public URL at Sitecore site. Let me visit the URL. This is the demo template I have, demo article template I have at Sitecore. It is a very nice template. In this template, I have article title, article publish time, This is the feature image. This is the article body. So as you have seen here, I just have few information mapped. So I have author, content, created on, image and title, and you just can see those here. I don't have much in my template, but a template could have much more than CMP contents. For example, a template could have like footer, header, whatever the template developer wanna put. And as you can see, it goes to cat3 folder, as I have shown you that I selected the label as category 3, and in the destination mapper, I mapped category 3 to cat3 folder of my Sitecore site. If you go to the folder, I have some articles previously published, and this is the new article I just published, dar US something.
Night Bhai,
Yeah.
just a request. Would it be possible to like kind of revisit the publishing process via another test task? Just wanted to see what happens when you like change a couple of labels here and there, or like how it reflects on the Sitecore set. Because like I think 2 or 2.5 minutes of footage are missing from like my previous recording. So if you could just like explore publishing through another test task, that would be great.
Yeah, sure. So at this moment, I just have one destination mapper. Let me create another destination mapper. So let me insert a destination mapper. Destination mapper for cat2. Let's say I have cat2 folder in my site. So in cat2, I just have 3 articles. I want to put more articles here. So if I select cat2 from CMP side, then my article will go to cat2 folder at Sitecore. So I introduce a new mapper.
Night Bhai,
Yeah.
I had a question. Is there a limit to how many articles you can put under one category?
No, there is no limit.
There is no limit. Okay. Also, we can map these categories based on the labels that we set from CMP for articles, right? Like if let's say I'm publishing two different types of two different categories of article. One is business and one is traveling. So if I publish, will Sitecore understand, like put those labels inside those articles? When I publish, the Sitecore will understand the labels and properly categorize those articles under proper folders, right?
The plugin doesn't understand anything. The plugin has this one-to-one mapping. So whenever you create a new label, it's
That's basically what I was saying. So if I change the level of an article from CMP, will that put that article in the new destination here? I have both categories set up in CMP and Sitecore, and now I went into CMP, changed the level of this article. Maybe it was in business previously. Now I've deleted it and put it in travel, then synced it. Will the Sitecore understand where to take this article?
Yes, it will. It will. It will remove from the previous from the previous folder to a new folder.
And since we allow choosing multiple labels from CMP, can I put a single article in different folders under different categories in Sitecore?
Single article in different categories.
In different, yeah. So maybe I've chosen business and travel for an article, and so that means it should go into two map destination in this Sitecore site. Like I have two categories called travel and business. So will the article end up in both of those categories?
No, it will end up in one category. Whichever you, I mean, it will, as far as I know, I can validate with Brain Station guys, they developed the plugin. But as far as I know, it will match sequentially, and whichever it match first, it will end up there.
Okay.
So maybe you have selected CAT 2 and CAT 3 from CMP, and you have both configured CAT 2 to category, I mean category 2 to CAT 2 and category 3 to CAT 3.
Yes.
Then it will end up most probably in CAT 2 because it comes first in the list.
Okay. So one last thing, on the CMP end, could you please show us where we are choosing these labels? Is it under brief sections labels or article
Yeah,
information?
it is we don't have labels anywhere. The task labels are here in the brief
Yes.
section.
So
So you have to select from brief section.
okay. Okay. These are the ones that are getting mapped on the Sitecore end as well. So it shouldn't be under article information.
No.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So as what I was trying to do, I introduce a new mapper here. So let me publish a new article. So I have to select a new destination, Sitecore destination. I choose let me pick a content. Let me pick this one. Mirror something. Now I need to choose the channel. Sitecore with Brain Station. I want to publish it immediately. And push button. Now, if you wait for 5 minutes, then you should see the link here. Otherwise, you need to hit the button to read from the feed. So whenever the feed read is completed, then you will see the link will be visible here.
Nain sorry to interrupt you. Did you just click on like the apply config on all button? Or did you just click on sync configuration?
I clicked apply config.
Okay.
Apply config on all.
Yep. Okay. So now I guess
so
should reflect,
it
right?
has just everything. Yeah, you should have the link here. Yeah, you have the link. You have the cat2, and you should have the new article in cat2 folder here as well.
Yep.
So you should have mirror something.
Okay.
Let me, what I have shown you here is the labels. You can use custom fields similarly. For example, if you need to send another image, for example, we have just the feature image in the article, but you need another image in your template. Then you have to select a custom field. You have to select the image custom field, and you can, for example, I have selected Sitecore Sitecore workflow, and in this workflow, I have Sitecore metadata description and few other custom fields here. So you have to configure like the set for the second image, say it's a hero image or it's another image. You have to configure that image for for this workflow, and you have to select additional information from the custom field. Then you have to update the schema, like as I have shown you that you have a selector to select custom labels. You can define similarly for custom fields. Usually we developers do this schema update before we onboarding a client, but just to give you an idea how this additional information goes to the Sitecore site. Um, this is about the demo I was thinking of. Let me see if I miss anything from the agenda. I think I don't miss anything from the agenda. Do you have any questions so far?
Any questions, guys?
No, I'm good. No, I'm good.
I mean, we are good, Night Bhai. We just need a bit of practice when it comes to like investigating Sitecore related publishing problems. We haven't encountered many. I think I investigated a couple with you like a month ago or something like that. So that was one heck of an experience. But down the line, hopefully, inshallah, all of us will get more experience on this regard. We will gain more experience. Yep. And with due practice, we should be
Sure.
fine. Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
I don't know whether you have access to uh, the
The
that
Git.
third-party channel, the Git
Yeah,
wiki.
I have GitHub access, but I'm not sure whether the rest of the team has it. So I think Rana Bhai provided GitHub access to me and Adnan in the like ages ago in the beginning, but we will have to revisit on that. So yeah,
Do we actually need
Sure.
access to GitHub? Like we can copy, I can copy this and save this.
yeah. I think I used to have a PDF on this, so I will check and let you guys know. Can
I
we
have
export
added
this?
this
Yeah.
recently, so you might not have this section in your PDF. So
Oh,
just take
okay. Yeah.
another PDF.
Yep. Yep.
So you have everything you need to play with the Sitecore plugin.
Naidbhai, could
You
you do
just
something for me? Sorry. Could you please just like copy all of these things and forward it to me, like on Slack or something, so that I can make like a
yeah, sure.
PowerPoint talk out of it? Yep.
Yeah, sure. I can
Thank you.
give you.
Sorry to interrupt, bro.
It's okay. So you can play around. Just you need to ask some developer to switch on the Sitecore instance because it's a Windows instance and it's a bit expensive. At this moment, we are using AWS Sitecore instances, and for the demo purpose, we run it. Otherwise, we stop the instance. Before,
Okay.
we had a PC at our local premises in the office, but it has some problem and it's not working at this moment. So before you wanna play, just let me know. I will switch on the PC,
Gotcha.
the instance.
Naidbhai, one last question.
Yeah.
So if, say, for example, someone reaches out, yes, and they
Mhm.
report like a Sitecore publishing problem, um, once we have, say for example, if it's a new client, once we have featured flag the Sitecore feed for them to use, um, once we have confirmed everything in regards to the version of Sitecore they are using and whatnot, do we also need to ask for credentials so that like we can play around and conduct some checks on our end as part of the debugging process?
I'm not sure the client will be comfortable to share
Okay.
or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, I had my reservations as well. Okay. Makes sense. Thank you, bro.
Okay. Sorry, I just took 5 more minutes.
No
I've taken
problem.
5 more minutes.
No problem. Thanks, bro.
No problem, bro.
Really
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Welcome.
Good night, bye.